A Stoic's Guide to Inner Peace. 7 Practices to Transform Your Life. Have you ever wondered if it's possible to remain truly calm, no matter how chaotic life becomes? Imagine a world where notifications buzz incessantly, deadlines press down like a weight, and heated arguments flare up unexpectedly. Yet you remain unshaken, steady as a lake mirroring a clear sky, even as a storm rages nearby. It sounds almost impossible, doesn't it? But what if there's a way to achieve this kind of unshakable peace? A path laid out by ancient thinkers who faced the same human struggles we encounter today. Welcome to a journey through 7 Stoic practices that can transform how you navigate life's ups and downs. These aren't just abstract philosophies or dusty old ideas. They're practical, time-tested tools you can apply every day to cultivate calm, resilience, and clarity, no matter what challenges come your way. So, grab a comfortable seat, maybe a warm cup of coffee, and let's dive into these practices together. Ready to find your calm in the storm? Let's begin. The first practice is embracing what you can control and letting go of what you can't. The Stoics, like Epictetus, taught that our power lies in our thoughts, choices, and actions, not in external events. The traffic jam, the rude coworker, the unexpected bill, these are outside your control. But how you respond, that's entirely up to you. By focusing only on your reactions and decisions, you free yourself from the frustration of trying to bend the world to your will. Next time life feels overwhelming, pause and ask, what can I control here? Shift your energy to that and watch the chaos lose its grip. Second, practice negative visualization, or premeditatio malorum. This isn't about being pessimistic, but preparing your mind for life's inevitable challenges. Each morning, take a moment to imagine potential obstacles, a delayed flight, a tough conversation, or a plan gone awry. By mentally rehearsing these scenarios, you're not caught off guard when they happen. Instead, you're ready with a calm, measured response. Seneca used this technique to face everything from exile to death with equanimity. It's like mental armor, equipping you to handle whatever life throws your way. The third practice is to reframe adversity as opportunity. The Stoics believed that obstacles are not setbacks, but chances to grow stronger. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Lost your job? It's a chance to explore new paths. A relationship ends? It's an opportunity to learn about yourself. This mindset shift doesn't erase pain, but it transforms how you experience it, turning challenges into stepping stones toward resilience and wisdom. Fourth, cultivate self-discipline through daily habits. Stoicism isn't about grand gestures, but small, consistent choices. Start your day with intention, maybe a few minutes of journaling, reflecting on your values, or simply breathing deeply. These small acts build a foundation of calm that carries you through turbulent moments. Epictetus reminded us that no one becomes virtuous by accident. It's the result of deliberate practice. Commit to one small habit today and let it anchor you over time. The fifth practice is to practice gratitude for what is. In a world that pushes us to want more, the Stoics urge us to appreciate what we already have. Take a moment each day to reflect on 3 things you're grateful for: a warm meal, a kind word, or even the air in your lungs. This shifts your focus from lack to abundance, grounding you in the present. Seneca believed that true wealth lies in wanting less, not having more. Gratitude is a quiet antidote to the restlessness of modern life. Sixth, embrace amor fati, love of fate. This means accepting, even embracing everything that happens, good or bad, as necessary and beneficial. Nietzsche, inspired by the Stoics, called this loving your fate as if it were your own creation. Spilled coffee on your shirt? A loved one's illness? These are part of your story. By accepting them fully, you stop fighting reality and find peace in the present moment. It's not passive resignation, but an active choice to align with life's flow. Finally, reflect daily on your own mortality. The Stoics practiced memento mori, remembering that life is finite. This isn't morbid, but liberating. By keeping death in mind, you prioritize what truly matters: kindness, purpose, connection, and let go of trivial worries. Each night ask, "Did I live well today?" This practice sharpens your focus, making every moment more meaningful. As Marcus Aurelius said, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. These 7 practices, focusing on what you can control, visualizing challenges, reframing adversity, building discipline, practicing gratitude, loving fate, and remembering mortality, are not quick fixes but a lifelong path. They require practice, patience, and persistence. Yet with time, they weave a calm so deep it holds steady through any storm. So, start small. Pick one practice today. Try it tomorrow. Let these ancient tools guide you to a life of resilience and peace, no matter how wild the world gets. The promise of Stoic wisdom. What does inner peace mean to you? Is it a mind so quiet it feels like a still pond, undisturbed by the ripples of daily stress? Or perhaps a heart that stays steady, unshaken even when life throws its worst at you? For the Stoics, those wise thinkers from ancient Greece and Rome, inner peace wasn't just a fleeting feeling or a lofty ideal. It was a way of life, a deliberate practice forged in the fires of life's chaos. They believed you could face anything: loss, betrayal, uncertainty, and still hold on to a deep, unshakable calm. Not by shutting out the world, but by mastering how you respond to it. In today's world, we're bombarded by noise, endless notifications, overflowing inboxes, the relentless pressure to keep up. It's easy to feel like you're drowning in it all. But the Stoics? They had a playbook for this, a set of practical exercises, not just abstract theories, to build a life of resilience and tranquility. In this journey, I'm going to walk you through 7 of those exercises, each one a stepping stone to a quieter, stronger you. If you're new here, craving a bit of timeless wisdom to anchor you, hit that subscribe button and join our community of seekers. Let's dive in and start this journey together. The first exercise is to focus on what's in your control. The Stoics, like Epictetus, taught that our power lies in our thoughts, choices, and actions, not in external events. The missed deadline, the canceled plans, the stranger's harsh words, these are beyond your grasp. But how you think about them, how you respond, that's where your strength lies. Next time chaos hits, pause and ask, what can I control here? Maybe it's taking a deep breath or choosing kindness over anger. By zeroing in on what's yours to shape, you let go of the rest, and the weight of the world starts to lift. Next up is negative visualization, or premeditatio malorum. This isn't about dwelling on the negative, but preparing your mind for life's curveballs. Each morning, take a moment to picture what could go wrong: a delayed meeting, a tough conversation, or a sudden setback. Seneca used this to stay steady through exile and loss. By mentally rehearsing challenges, you're not blindsided when they arrive. Instead, you meet them with calm readiness, like a warrior who's already run the battle in their mind. The third exercise is to see obstacles as opportunities. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What stands in the way becomes the way." The Stoics believed every challenge is a chance to grow. Lost a job? It's an opening to explore new paths. A friendship fades? It's a moment to learn about yourself. This mindset doesn't erase pain. It reframes it. That flat tire or failed project isn't a dead end. It's a teacher guiding you toward resilience and wisdom. Fourth, build self-discipline through small daily habits. Stoicism isn't about grand heroics, but consistent intentional choices. Start your day with a simple ritual: 5 minutes of journaling, a moment to reflect on your values, or even a mindful cup of tea. These small acts create a foundation of calm that holds firm when life gets stormy. Epictetus said no one becomes virtuous by chance. It's built through practice. Pick one habit today and let it ground you over time. The fifth exercise is practicing gratitude for what you have. In a world that screams more, the Stoics urge us to cherish what's already ours. Each day, name 3 things you're thankful for: a warm bed, a kind gesture, the air you breathe. Seneca believed true contentment comes from wanting less, not having more. Gratitude pulls you back to the present, dissolving the restlessness that fuels anxiety. Sixth, embrace amor fati, the love of fate. This means accepting everything that happens, good or bad, as part of your path. Spilled coffee, a loved one's struggle, these aren't mistakes, they're your story. By embracing them, you stop battling reality and find peace in the moment. It's not about giving up, but choosing to align with life's flow, as the Stoics did. Finally, practice memento mori. Reflect on your mortality. The Stoics reminded themselves daily that life is finite. This isn't grim, it's freeing. Knowing your time is limited sharpens your focus on what matters: love, purpose, integrity. Each evening ask, did I live well today? Marcus Aurelius urged us to let death guide our actions, making every choice more meaningful. These 7 exercises, focusing on control, visualizing challenges, reframing obstacles, building habits, practicing gratitude, loving fate, and reflecting on mortality, are your tools for inner peace. They're not instant fixes, but a lifelong practice. Start with 1. Try it tomorrow. Let these ancient lessons guide you to a calmer, stronger you, no matter how loud the world gets. If you found this helpful, share it with someone who needs it. And let's keep seeking wisdom together. Write your way to clarity. Let's start with something deceptively simple, yet profoundly powerful. Putting pen to paper. Or, if you're more of a digital soul, fingers to keyboard. Whatever feels right. The Stoics, those ancient masters of resilience, saw journaling as far more than a diary for daily trivia like what they ate for lunch. Imagine your mind as a stormy sea, waves crashing, thoughts swirling in a chaotic dance. Journaling is like dropping an anchor into that turbulence. It steadies you, grounds you, and brings a sense of calm to the chaos. When you write, you're not just recording the events of your day. You're engaging in a deep, honest conversation with yourself, peeling back the layers of your thoughts and emotions to uncover what's really driving you. Picture this. Something's got you rattled. Maybe it's a coworker's snarky comment that hit harder than it should, or a carefully laid plan that unraveled at the last minute. Your emotions are a mess, like a tangled ball of yarn, each thread knotted with frustration, doubt, or anger. Sitting down to journal is like gently tugging at those threads, slowly untangling the mess. As you write, you start to see what's really going on beneath the surface. That coworker's remark? Maybe it stung because it tapped into a deeper insecurity you've been carrying. That failed plan? Perhaps it's not the catastrophe it feels like in the heat of the moment. By putting your thoughts into words, you're not just venting, you're making sense of the chaos. The Stoics used journaling to reflect on their values, examine their reactions, and realign with their goals. It's like holding up a mirror to your soul, revealing truths you might otherwise miss. So, how do you start? It's easier than you think. At the end of your day, when the world finally quiets down, carve out a moment for yourself. Grab a notebook, open a blank document, or even use the Notes app on your phone. Whatever's handy. Don't overthink it. This isn't about crafting a masterpiece. Just let your thoughts flow. Write about what happened, sure, but don't stop there. Go deeper. What made you laugh today? What sparked joy, even for a fleeting moment? What frustrated you, and why did it hit so hard? Maybe it's not just about the traffic jam, but a sense of losing control. Ask yourself, what did I learn about myself today? How did I live up to my values or fall short? Don't worry about grammar or making it sound polished. This is for you, not an audience. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you can spare. It's like clearing the fog from a window, letting you see your inner world with new clarity. The magic of journaling lies in its ability to reveal patterns over time. As you make this a habit, daily, weekly, whatever works, you'll start to notice recurring themes. Maybe you see that certain situations always trigger anxiety, or that small moments of gratitude lift your mood more than you realized. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, used their journals to wrestle with life's big questions and refine their character. His Meditations, that's essentially his private journal, a raw, unfiltered dialogue with himself about how to live well. You don't need to be an emperor to benefit from this. Journaling helps you spot your triggers, understand your reactions, and make intentional choices about who you want to be. It's not just reflection, it's a roadmap to growth. This practice also builds resilience. Life will always throw curveballs, deadlines, conflicts, unexpected setbacks. But when you journal, you're training yourself to pause, process, and respond with intention rather than react on impulse. It's like a mental gym, strengthening your ability to stay calm under pressure. The Stoics believed that peace comes not from a perfect life, but from a disciplined mind. Journaling is one of the most accessible ways to cultivate that discipline. It's a quiet act of rebellion against a world that demands constant reaction, a way to reclaim your inner stillness. So try it tonight. Set aside a few minutes, pick up a pen, and start writing. Ask yourself what mattered today, what challenged you, what you're grateful for. Let the words flow without judgment. Over time, this simple act becomes a powerful tool, anchoring you in clarity and calm, no matter how wild the storm. It is not just journaling, it is a Stoic practice for building a life of purpose and peace. Keep at it, and you'll find that the conversation you are having with yourself is one of the most transformative you'll ever have. Wander through your mind. Let's try something a little different now, something that invites you to step away from the noise of the world. Close your eyes for a moment, not literally since you're here with me, but picture this: Yanza. Quiet corner of your mind, a sanctuary where you can simply be. No buzzing notifications, no endless to-do lists, just you and your thoughts, free to roam. This is the essence of philosophical meditation, the second Stoic practice we're exploring today. Don't worry, this isn't about sitting cross-legged on a mountaintop or chanting mantras. It's about taking a deliberate, reflective stroll through the garden of your own mind, cultivating clarity and calm in the process. In our fast-paced lives, we're constantly reacting, scrolling through social media, firing off texts, or putting out one crisis after another. But how often do we pause to ask, why does this matter to me? Why does a breathtaking sunset make your heart swell with awe? Why does a friend's sharp comment linger in your mind all day? Philosophical meditation, as the Stoics practiced it, is about diving into those questions. It is not about chasing quick answers or solving every problem. It is about savoring the act of wondering. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, believed that by reflecting deeply on your thoughts and emotions, you could gain a deeper understanding of yourself. And with that understanding comes a sense of grounding, a calm that anchors you no matter what life throws your way. So, how do you do it? It's simpler than it sounds. Carve out a few minutes in your day, maybe during your morning coffee, on a quiet walk, or just before bed. Find a moment when the world feels a little less demanding. Let your mind wander freely, like a traveler exploring new terrain. Think about something that happened recently. Maybe someone cut you off in traffic, and it sent your temper soaring. Instead of brushing it off or stewing, ask yourself, why did that bother me so much? Was it the act itself, or did it stir up something deeper? Maybe a sense of disrespect or a loss of control. Keep peeling back the layers, not to judge yourself, but to explore with curiosity. It's like wandering through a garden, noticing the shapes and colors of your thoughts without trying to rearrange them. This practice isn't about forcing clarity or fixing yourself, it's about observing. The Stoics believed that our emotions and thoughts are like weather patterns, temporary, ever-changing, and not the essence of who we are. By sitting with them, you begin to see them for what they are, passing clouds, not permanent storms. That moment of anger in traffic, it's not you, it's a fleeting reaction. That pang of sadness over a friend's words, it's real, but it doesn't define you. Philosophical meditation helps you create space between yourself and your reactions, giving you the freedom to choose how you respond. Over time, this practice builds a quiet resilience, a calm that creeps in as you learn to navigate your inner world with grace. Try this. The next time you have a quiet moment, think about a recent event that stirred something in you. A moment of joy, frustration, or even confusion. Ask yourself, what did I feel? Why did it hit me that way? Maybe write it down if it helps, but the key is to let your mind explore without rushing to conclusions. For example, if a colleague's critique stung, consider whether it's about their words or something deeper, like a fear of not being enough. There's no right or wrong here, just the act of wondering. The Stoics used this kind of reflection to align their actions with their values, to live with intention rather than being swept away by impulse. This practice takes time to feel natural, but that's okay. Start small. 5 minutes a day, maybe less. The goal isn't to master your mind, but to get to know it. As you make this a habit, you'll notice your reactions becoming less overwhelming, your perspective clearer. The Stoics saw this as a path to eudaimonia, a flourishing life rooted in self-awareness and purpose. Philosophical meditation isn't about escaping life's challenges. It's about meeting them with a steady heart. It's about finding that quiet corner of your mind, no matter how loud the world gets, and learning to rest there. So give it a try today. Find a moment to sit with your thoughts, to wander through the garden of your mind. Ask a question. Why did that moment matter? And see where it leads. You don't need answers, just openness. Over time, this simple Stoic practice will help you build a calm that not shaken by life, storms, a peace that grows from understanding yourself a little better each day. Keep exploring, and let this be your first step toward a more grounded, resilient you. Zoom out for perspective. Have you ever stood on a mountaintop, gazing down at the world below? Or maybe leaned over the railing of a high balcony, watching cars shrink to the size of toys, people reduced to mere specks, and even towering skyscrapers looking like miniatures? In that moment, your problems, those heavy, gnawing worries, suddenly don't feel so overwhelming. They seem smaller, less all-consuming. This is the heart of the third Stoic practice, the elevated perspective technique. It's about stepping back, way back, and viewing your life from a wider, almost cosmic angle. The Stoics used this practice to find peace, not by ignoring their struggles, but by placing them in the vast context of the universe. The Stoics, like Seneca, had a profound way of putting life's chaos into perspective. Seneca likened human existence to waves in a vast ocean, rising briefly, crashing with force, then blending back into the water, indistinguishable from the whole. Our worries, our joys, our frustrations, they're real, but they're temporary. That missed deadline that's keeping you up at night, the unanswered text that's eating at you, the dream you're pouring your heart into, they matter deeply in the moment, but in the grand sweep of the universe, they're fleeting. This practice isn't about dismissing your feelings or pretending they don't exist. It's about seeing them in proportion, understanding that your struggles are just one small part of an immense, interconnected reality. The beauty of the elevated perspective is that it offers a mental reset. When life feels like it's closing in, this practice invites you to zoom out, to see yourself as part of something much larger. The Stoics believed that by contemplating the vastness of time and space, we could find a kind of humility that brings peace. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the brevity of life against the backdrop of eternity, reminding himself that our troubles, no matter how intense, are but a blip in the cosmic timeline. This isn't meant to make you feel insignificant. It's meant to free you. Your problems are real, but they don't define the entirety of your existence. They're not the whole story. Here is how you can try it. The next time stress or anxiety starts to take hold, pause and give yourself a moment to breathe. Close your eyes and imagine you're floating above the world, rising higher and higher. Picture your city shrinking below you, its streets and buildings growing smaller until they're just a patchwork of lights and shapes. See your house, your room, yourself, a tiny figure in a vast landscape. Now go further. Imagine the earth itself shrinking, becoming a pale blue dot suspended in the endless black of space. Think about the stars, the galaxies, the incomprehensible stretch of time that existed before you and will continue after. Now, hold your problem in your mind, that argument, that fear, that pressure. Where does it fit in this vastness? It's still there, still real, but it's smaller now, isn't it? More manageable. This exercise doesn't erase your challenges. It puts them in perspective, making them feel less like mountains and more like pebbles. This practice is powerful because it shifts how you relate to your struggles. The Stoics weren't advocating for detachment or apathy, but for a kind of mental freedom. By zooming out, you remind yourself that no single moment, no matter how painful or urgent, defines you. That overdue project, it's a task, not your worth. That strained relationship, it's a chapter, not your entire story. This perspective helps you approach challenges with a lighter heart, not because they don't matter, but because they're only part of the picture. Seneca wrote that we suffer more in imagination than in reality, and the elevated perspective helps tame that imagination, grounding you in a broader truth. You can weave this practice into your daily life. Maybe it's a quick mental exercise during a stressful moment, stepping back to see the bigger picture. Or maybe it's a quiet ritual at night, gazing at the stars or imagining the universe's vastness. The Stoics used this technique to cultivate equanimity, to face life's ups and downs with a steady mind. Over time, it becomes a habit, a way to anchor yourself when the world feels chaotic. Your worries don't vanish, but they lose their power to consume you. So, try it today. The next time life feels heavy, take a moment to float above it all. See your problems shrink against the vastness of existence. Let the Stoic elevated perspective remind you that you're part of something immense, and in that immensity, there's room for peace. Keep practicing, and you'll find that even in the stormiest moments, you can feel a little lighter, a little freer, ready to face life with a calmer heart. Paint your day with reflection. Let's dive into the fourth Stoic practice, daily self-examination. Picture each day as a blank canvas stretched out before you, fresh and full of possibility. Your thoughts, your actions, your choices, they're the brush strokes that paint the picture of your life. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, believed that life is shaped by the quality of our thoughts. At the end of each day, they would pause to step back and study their canvas. What did they create today? Where did the colors blend beautifully, and where did the strokes go awry? This practice wasn't about dwelling on the past or chasing perfection. It was about learning, reflecting, and growing into a better version of themselves with each new day. Daily self-examination isn't about beating yourself up for mistakes or basking in your successes. It's about honest, curious reflection. Imagine you snapped at someone today. Maybe a coworker's comment set you off, or a family member pushed your buttons. Instead of shrugging it off or drowning in guilt, pause and ask, what happened there? Was I tired? Stretched too thin? Did their words hit a deeper insecurity? What could I do differently tomorrow? Or perhaps you handled a tough situation with grace, a tense meeting where you stayed calm, or a moment when you chose kindness over frustration. Why did that go well? What strength did you tap into? Maybe it was patience, empathy, or a moment of clarity. By dissecting these moments, you turn every day into a classroom, each experience a lesson in becoming the person you want to be. The Stoics saw this practice as a way to align their actions with their values. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often reflected on his day, questioning whether he lived with wisdom, courage, and justice. He didn't expect flawlessness. He sought progress. This mindset is liberating in a world that demands constant perfection. Life pulls us in a million directions, emails piling up, social pressures, unexpected challenges. Without reflection, it's easy to drift, reacting on autopilot. Daily self-examination is like checking in with your inner compass, ensuring you're steering toward the life you want, not just the one that happens to you. Here's how to start. Carve out a quiet moment before bed when the world slows down. It doesn't need to be long. 5 or 10 minutes will do. Think about your day. What went well? Maybe you shared a genuine laugh with a friend or tackled a task you'd been avoiding. What didn't go so well? Perhaps you procrastinated or let frustration get the better of you. Don't judge yourself harshly. Just observe. Ask, why did I react that way? What was driving me? You can write it down in a notebook or a notes app, letting the words flow freely, or simply let the thoughts simmer in your mind. Writing can be powerful. It's like untangling a knot, making patterns clearer. But even mental reflection works if you're consistent. End by asking, what kind of person do I want to be tomorrow? Maybe you want to be more patient, more present, or more true to your values. This question sets an intention, a gentle guide for the next day's canvas. Over time, this practice reveals patterns. You might notice that stress makes you short-tempered, or that gratitude lifts your mood more than you realized. The Stoics used reflection to cultivate eudaimonia, a flourishing life rooted in purpose. Epictetus taught that no one becomes virtuous by accident. It's the result of deliberate effort. Daily self-examination is that effort, a small but mighty act of self-discipline. It's not about rewriting the past, but learning from it, so you can paint tomorrow's canvas with more intention. This practice also builds a quiet resilience. Life will always bring challenges, deadlines, conflicts, moments of doubt. By reflecting regularly, you train yourself to respond with clarity rather than impulse. You start to see your thoughts and emotions as tools, not masters. That argument that upset you? It's a chance to practice patience. That moment of pride? It's a reminder of your capacity for good. Each reflection strengthens your ability to stay centered, no matter how chaotic the world gets. So try it tonight. Take a moment to review your day. What went well? What could be better? What do you want tomorrow to hold? Let this Stoic practice be your inner compass, guiding you through the noise of life. It's not about creating a perfect picture, it's about painting with purpose, one thoughtful brush stroke at a time. Keep at it, and you'll find that this daily check-in builds a peaceful mind, grounded in progress and ready for whatever comes next. The power of the pause. Let's talk about something we all crave, whether we realize it or not. Space. Not the cosmic kind with stars and galaxies, but that fleeting, precious gap between something happening and how you choose to respond. This is the heart of the fifth Stoic practice, pausing and reflecting before you act. Life moves at a relentless pace, doesn't it? A text pings, and your fingers are already typing a reply. An email lands in your inbox, and you're halfway through a response before you've even processed it. Someone says something that stings, and you snap back without thinking. But what if you slowed down just for a moment? What if you claimed that tiny space and used it to find your calm? The Stoics mastered this art of the pause, and it's a game changer. Viktor Frankl, a profound thinker who endured unimaginable hardship, put it beautifully. Between stimulus and response, there's a space, and in that space lies your freedom. The Stoics lived by this idea. Instead of reacting on autopilot, lashing out in anger, spiraling over a mistake, or stressing about something beyond your control, they taught themselves to pause, to breathe, to think. What's really happening here? Is this worth my emotional energy? What's the wisest way to respond? That brief moment of reflection can shift everything. turning a knee-jerk reaction into a thoughtful choice. It is not about suppressing your feelings, but about giving yourself the power to decide how they shape your actions. Why does this matter? Because life is a constant stream of stimuli, annoying coworkers, unexpected setbacks, heated moments, and without that pause, we're at the mercy of our impulses. The Stoics, like Epictetus, believed that our true power lies in our ability to control our responses. You can stop someone from cutting you off in traffic or prevent a project from going off the rails, but you can choose how you meet those moments. That choice is your freedom, your strength. Pausing allows you to step off the emotional roller coaster and ask, what's in my control here? Is this situation worth my frustration, or can I let it go? How do I want to show up in this moment? That simple act of stepping back can diffuse anger, ease anxiety, and bring clarity to chaos. Here is how to try it. The next time you feel your blood pressure rising, maybe a friend's comment hits a nerve, or a work email feels like a personal attack, stop. Take a deep breath, slow and deliberate. Count to 3 if it helps, or even 10 if the moment is intense. This isn't about ignoring your emotions, it's about giving them space to breathe. Ask yourself a few simple questions. What's really going on here? Why am I feeling this way? Is this worth getting upset over? What's the best way to respond, not just for now, but for the person I want to be? It's like hitting a mental reset button, creating a buffer between the spark and the flame. You're not denying your anger or sadness. You're choosing how to channel it. Maybe that means responding with calm instead of heat, or letting the moment pass entirely. This practice takes discipline, especially in a world that demands instant reactions. Social media, instant messaging, the 24/7 news cycle, they all train us to fire back, to act without thinking. But the Stoics saw pausing as a radical act of self-mastery. Seneca wrote that the greatest remedy for anger is delay. By giving yourself that space, you reclaim control from the chaos around you. It's not about being emotionless, it's about being intentional. Over time, this habit rewires how you engage with the world. That rude comment that would have ruined your day, you let it slide. That stressful deadline, you tackle it with focus, not panic. The pause becomes your secret weapon, a tool for staying calm and in control no matter what life throws at you. Start small. The next time you feel triggered, pause for just a moment. Breathe deeply. Ask, what's in my control? How do I want to respond? If it helps, picture the Stoics. Marcus Aurelius reflecting in his tent. Epictetus staying steady despite his circumstances, using this same practice to navigate their own storms. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to try. With practice, that tiny gap between stimulus and response grows, giving you more room to choose wisdom over impulse. In a world that's always pushing you to react, pausing is your power. It's the key to a peaceful mind, one deliberate breath at a time. So, give it a shot today. Find that space, claim it, and watch how it transforms the way you move through life. See things as they are. Let's explore the 6th Stoic practice, representing events objectively. Imagine you're painting a picture of your day, but instead of splashing it with bold emotional colors, anger, fear, or frustration, you use a neutral palette, sticking strictly to the facts. Just the facts, nothing more. Say a friend doesn't reply to your text. Your mind might immediately jump to, they're mad at me, or I must have done something wrong. But what if you stripped away those assumptions? The truth, the bare-bones reality, is simply, they didn't reply. That's it. No story, no drama, no spiral of worry. This practice is about seeing events for what they are, not what your emotions make them out to be. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus nailed this idea when he said, "It's not things that disturb us, but our opinions about them." We're wired to add layers to every moment, interpreting, judging, spinning narratives. A coworker's offhand comment becomes proof they don't respect you. A missed opportunity feels like a personal failure. But what if we hit pause on those stories? What if we approached life like a scientist, observing events with cool detachment, noting only what's verifiable? Your boss gives you tough feedback. Instead of thinking, they hate me or I'm terrible at my job, try, they pointed out areas for improvement. That's the event, stripped of emotional baggage. This isn't about ignoring your feelings. It's about not letting them distort the truth. This practice is powerful because it cuts through the mental fog we create. Our minds are storytelling machines, often turning neutral events into epic dramas. Someone cuts you off in traffic and suddenly you're fuming, imagining they're reckless or out to ruin your day, but objectively, they changed lanes in front of you, that's all. The anger, the story about their intentions, that's extra, added by you. By focusing on the raw data of life, you free yourself from the weight of unnecessary interpretations. It's like cleaning a foggy window. The view becomes clearer, and with that clarity comes a sense of peace that's hard to shake. Here's how to put it into practice. The next time something bothers you, pause. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, what's actually happening here? Not what you think it means, not what it could imply, just what it is. Someone's late to meet you? The fact is, they're late. That's the event. Your frustration, your assumptions about their reasons, your story about what it says about your relationship, that's all extra. Write it down if it helps, or just mentally note the distinction. For example, if a colleague snaps at you during a meeting, don't leap to, they're out to get me. Instead, think, they spoke sharply. That's the objective reality. By anchoring yourself to the facts, you create space to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. This doesn't mean you become a robot, devoid of emotion. The Stoics weren't about suppressing feelings, but about understanding them. Your emotions are real and valid, but they often cloud your perception of reality. By practicing objective representation, you give yourself the chance to feel without being ruled by those feelings. That harsh email from a client? It's just words on a screen, outlining specific requests or critiques. The anxiety it triggers? That's separate, something you can acknowledge and set aside. Over time, this practice trains you to see events more clearly, reducing the emotional static that amplifies stress. The Stoics used this approach to navigate a world full of challenges. Seneca, for instance, faced exile and political turmoil, yet he urged himself to focus on what was true, not what his fears whispered. This mindset is especially valuable today, when social media, news, and constant connectivity amplify our tendency to overinterpret. A vague text, a silent phone, a critical comment, they can send us spiraling. But by sticking to the facts, you reclaim control. You decide what deserves your energy and what doesn't. It's like decluttering your mind, tossing out the stories that weigh you down. Try it today. The next time something sparks a reaction, pause and strip it down. What's the event? Plain and simple. Maybe it's a delayed response, a canceled plan, or a sharp word. Note the facts and let the stories fall away. It takes practice, but each time you do it, you're cleaning that mental window a little more. The Stoics knew that peace comes not from controlling the world, but from controlling how you see it. This practice, representing events objectively, is your tool for clarity, a way to stay grounded no matter how messy life gets. Keep at it, and you'll find that the truth, unadorned, is often lighter than the stories you've been carrying. Control what you can, let go of the rest. We've reached the seventh and final Stoic practice, and it's a true game changer, distinguishing between what you can control and what you can et. Life is a master at throwing curveballs, traffic jams that make you late, canceled plans that derail your day, or a sudden downpour when you were hoping for sunshine. It's easy to feel frustrated, to clench your fists and think the universe is conspiring against you. But the Stoics had a secret, a powerful shift in perspective that can lighten your load. Most of those things, they're outside your control, and that's not only okay, it's liberating. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus captured this idea with striking clarity. Don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do, and you will go on well. It sounds simple, almost too simple, but it's profound in its implications. You can't control the weather, other people's words or actions, or whether your Wi-Fi decides to crash in the middle of an important meeting. These are the external events of life, unpredictable and often indifferent. But what you can shape is your response, your attitude, your effort, your choices. These are your domain, the levers you can pull to navigate life with grace. By focusing on what's within your power and letting go of the rest, you free yourself from the weight of trying to bend the world to your will. This practice is about drawing a clear line between what is yours to influence and what isn't. Think about it. How much energy do you spend stressing over things you can't change? The rude driver who cut you off, the delayed flight, the colleague who didn't pull their weight. These are all outside your control. Getting angry or anxious won't undo them. But your reaction? That's entirely up to you. You can choose to take a deep breath instead of honking in rage. You can decide to use that unexpected airport delay to read, reflect, or simply rest. It's like learning to dance in the rain instead of cursing the storm. This mindset doesn't make life's challenges disappear, but it makes them feel lighter, less like burdens and more like moments you can handle. Here's how to put it into practice. The next time something goes wrong, pause and ask yourself, is this in my control? If the answer is no, like a rained-out picnic or a friend's sharp comment, let it go. Not in a dismissive, whatever way, but with intention, recognizing that your energy is better spent elsewhere. Shift your focus to what you can do. Maybe you can't control the rain, but you can move the party indoors and make it fun. Maybe you can't change someone's words, but you can choose to respond with kindness or walk away with your peace intact. If it is in your control, like how you prepare for a meeting or whether you show up with integrity, put your effort there. This simple question acts like a filter, helping you channel your energy where it matters most. The Stoics used this practice to navigate a world full of uncertainty. Epictetus, once a slave, faced countless circumstances beyond his control. Yet he found freedom in focusing on his inner world, his thoughts, his virtues. Marcus Aurelius, an emperor, dealt with political chaos and betrayal, but he reminded himself daily to focus only on what he could shape. This principle is just as vital today when we're bombarded with demands, social media outrage, work pressures, unexpected setbacks. By sorting life into what's yours and what's not, you reclaim a sense of agency. That unanswered email? Not your job to force a reply? Your response, though, whether it's patient or proactive, that's yours to craft. Start small. The next time frustration creeps in, pause and run the test. Is this in my control? If not, let it slide, like water off a leaf. If it is, act with intention. Maybe it's choosing to smile despite a setback or putting your best effort into a task you value. Over time, this practice becomes a habit, a way to move through life with less resistance. It's not about making life perfect. It's about making it manageable, even joyful. The Stoics knew that peace comes from mastering your own mind, not the world around you. By focusing on what you can control, you let go of the rest. And in that release, you find a lightness that carries you through life's storms, bringing it all together. There you have it, 7 Stoic practices to guide you toward inner peace, a way to navigate life's storms with resilience and calm. These aren't just fleeting exercises. They're tools to shape a way of life, a framework for moving through the world with grace. First, there's journaling, a practice that clears the fog from your mind, letting you untangle thoughts and emotions like threads in a knot. Then, philosophical meditation invites you to wander through your inner world, exploring why things matter without rushing to answers. The elevated perspective technique lifts you above the chaos, shrinking your worries against the vastness of the universe. Daily self-examination turns each day into a canvas, where your choices and reflections paint a path to growth. Pausing before you respond creates a space for freedom, letting you choose intention over impulse. Representing events objectively strips away the stories we tell ourselves, revealing the truth in its simplest form. And finally, focusing on what you can control frees you from the weight of things beyond your reach, anchoring you in your own power. Together, these practices form a roadmap to a calmer, stronger you. These Stoic tools are timeless, crafted by thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, who faced the same human struggles we do: uncertainty, loss, and the pressure of a chaotic world. Yet they found peace not by escaping life, but by mastering how they engaged with it. In our modern whirlwind of notifications, deadlines, and endless distractions, their wisdom feels more relevant than ever. Each practice is like a stepping stone, small but deliberate, leading you toward a life where calm isn't just a moment but a state of being. You don't need to master them all at once. The beauty of Stoicism lies in its practicality. Start with one and let it grow from there. I want to take a moment to thank you for joining me on this journey. You're here because you're seeking something, maybe a deeper sense of peace, a way to stand firm against life's challenges, or simply a better way to handle the daily grind. That search, that curiosity, is something to be proud of. It's a sign you're not just drifting through life, but actively shaping it. If these ideas sparked something in you, resonated in some quiet corner of your mind, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe, and maybe drop a comment below. Just write, "I'm ready for inner peace." It's a small gesture, but it connects you to a community of people striving for something better, a shared commitment to living with intention. Here is a challenge to carry this forward. Pick one of these practices, anyone, and try it today. It doesn't have to be grand. Maybe it's journaling for 5 minutes tonight, scribbling down what went well and what didn't, letting your thoughts spill onto the page. Or perhaps it's pausing before you fire off a reply to that frustrating email, taking a breath to choose your response with care. Maybe it's stepping back to view a stressful moment from the elevated perspective, seeing it as a tiny speck in the vastness of life. Start small, but start. The Stoics didn't become wise overnight, and neither will we. Wisdom, like peace, is built through consistent, quiet effort. Each step you take is a step toward a calmer, stronger version of yourself, one less swayed by the chaos around you. These practices are more than techniques. They're an invitation to live deliberately. In a world that pulls us in every direction, they offer a way to stay grounded, to choose clarity over confusion, resilience over reaction. If you want to keep this conversation going, check out the link in the description for more Stoic wisdom, resources, reflections, and practical tips to deepen your practice. Share these ideas with someone who might need them, someone who's searching for a bit of calm in their own storm. And hey, stick around. There's so much more to explore together. As you move forward, remember that inner peace isn't a destination you arrive at once and for all. It's a journey, a daily choice to align your thoughts and actions with what matters most. The Stoics showed us that peace comes not from a perfect life, but from a disciplined mind, one that meets challenges with curiosity and courage. So keep searching, keep practicing, keep showing up for yourself. You've got this, and every small step is proof of that. Until next time, here's to finding your calm, one Stoic practice at a time.